Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to COVID Diaries. We are the VAR Social Movement and Health team, and we are bringing you our answers from the questions that have been sent out. So start off with Joe. Joe, what has the Social Movement and Health team at VAR been doing to help the community during lockdown?
So we started out by supporting VAR's response to COVID in Rotherham. We found out what was going on in the local communities. We've joined quite a few Facebook groups and we've shared COVID information through them. We've also supported charities to apply for RMBC grants, and we've shared CCG health messages to encourage patients back to the GPs with cancer symptoms, because that had really reduced because of COVID. And we've maximised the use of our social media accounts, so Twitter and Facebook.
So over to you, Tracy. So what have you had to do to adjust at home, to fit in with family life and your work-life balance?
As a family all working from home, 4 people working from home, 1 schooling from home, we have had to adapt. We've had to respect each other's space. We've had to timed when we can use specific IT equipment. Initially it was a little bit difficult for me because I'd not got the right IT equipment, but once that had been resolved, we all fell into a good routine. We tend to meet at lunchtime, so that all of us get together and have some lunch together, and then go off back to our respective rooms to carry on working. So it's working really well at the moment. Good.
Back to you, Joe. What's the one thing that you've been missing during lockdown?
I think the most noticeable thing is just having the freedom to move around. So whereas I'd just go somewhere, you have to really think about it or not go, definitely at the beginning. So I think you really underestimate what freedom is all about when you just go somewhere. So that is something I've really missed, just being able to go wherever it is that I want to go.
So what about you, Tracy?
For me, with family and friends, I missed my grandson's first birthday, which was difficult just to to take him a card round but not actually be able to see him or give him a cuddle. But definitely family and friends I've missed the most.
Yeah. For me, it was having a haircut. I just had one just before lockdown started, so having to go 3 months without a haircut for me was just awful.
Yeah, you looked like me, Ian.
So it was great when the barbers opened again on the 4th of July, or the 4th of June, sorry, and I was really glad of that. 4th of July, it was the 4th of July. Right, so what's the first thing that you'll be doing when this is all over, Joe?
I think it probably follows on from my last answer. Meeting people, so having a coffee and a cake with somebody, just to be able to nip out and meet up with someone and have a chat. And it's always over coffee and cake. So it isn't necessarily the coffee and the cake, it's more just being able to go out and be social and catch up with friends.
Yeah. Tracy?
Choir. I'm a member of the Rotherham Hospice Choir, and we meet at once a week. We're not professional. Some say that you don't have to sing to join our choir, but it's a very social event. We support each other, and I can't wait to get back singing.
Yeah. For me, what I've missed, I'm a piper in the City of Sheffield Pipe Band, so all our engagements for the whole of the year get cancelled, and all our practices, so I'm really, really missing that. It'll be great if we can get back together again at some point. But at the moment, that could be a long time, because the facility we use for the practice, they won't be having anybody in anytime soon. So that's been quite a big thing for us. So the next question is, what has surprised us most about our community? Well, for me, the big thing was, I thought it was fantastic the way the community sort of pulled together. We joined various Facebook groups, and it was amazing to see how many new Facebook groups had appeared. Basically to help people with a response during COVID, to help the local community, help them with food, help them with getting medicines and all that type of thing. I mean, one of the examples I got contacted by a lady from Cheshire whose father lived in Kiveton Park, and he was over 80, so he couldn't get out to do his own shopping. He couldn't get his prescription filled. So I put her in contact with a local group in Kiveton, and also gave her contact details for Rotherham Council, which she was really grateful of. So that was really, really helpful. So, Joe, Can you tell me one lesson that you would take from lockdown, a piece of advice that you maybe give people in the future?
I think I would say don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Following on from my last answers, if you get that opportunity to go and visit somebody, go and have that meet up with somebody, don't think, well, I can do it next week, next month. Just do it, because you don't know, like it has happened now, you've not been able to. So definitely, if you get the opportunity, just do it. Do whatever it is. If you want to do it, do it. Don't think you're going to be able to do it tomorrow, next week, next month. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you, Tracy?
Not to take things for granted. So just the simple things like going for a walk, meeting friends for a coffee, birthdays, holidays. I think one thing that it's learned is that we can't take things for granted, and we've got to take each day as it comes.
Yeah. One thing that I found was a good thing about this was getting to know the neighbours. Because normally everybody's out at work all day, but when they had the clap for the NHS sort of thing, everybody was out there on a Thursday. I think it started a lot of conversations that probably been missed over months and maybe even years. So hopefully that will continue at the end of lockdown and people will stay in contact with each other. So another question for you, Tracy. What have you learned about yourself over this time?
The most things that I can learn new skills, and you teach an old dog new tricks. I've learned lots of new skills that I have to adapt to different ways of working. Yeah, I think that's about it, really.
Joe?
I think I've learned that I can just take a day at a time. I'm quite scheduled at work and I'm less scheduled at home. And I'm quite pleased about that. I don't tend to plan what I'm going to do at a weekend. And I think that's helped me to just go, whatever's happening today is happening today. So I'm quite pleased to know that I can do that and just, today is the day and not worry about what's coming next. So yeah, I can take one day at a time.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think it's how adaptable we were. Obviously, we lost all our engagements as a team. We couldn't go out and visit and talk to the groups that we normally would. So just being adaptable and learning how new ways of working, using Zoom, using MS Teams, and basically making connections with other people that we normally wouldn't get to do because we're usually so busy during our working day. So that being adaptable for me was a really, really big thing. So Tracy, how do you think things could be better in society for our residents and communities as we move forward?
I think doctors and hospitals have continued to use technology by using the telephone for appointments, reaching more patients, and to continue with that and build on that, but also to engage more with isolated people. Time is a precious thing that we can give to people that are isolated, and it's important that we get the right balance between technology and actually speaking to people over the phone. Not everybody can use IT equipment, and we've got to get the right balance with this.
Okay. And the final question to you, Jo. As we pass the 100 days, what's changed for you? And what will you look back and remember in the future about lockdown?
I think from a work point of view as a team, as you said, we've adapted. We've learned new skills, as Tracy said, and we've been really creative in finding different ways, new ways to reach people and interact as we're not being able to go out into the community. I think it's helped us work more closely as a team. We've had that opportunity and we've had that quality time to work with each other. And I think we've become more productive and we know more, we've become very knowledgeable as a result. So it's been an opportunity to achieve that, and that's definitely something to remember. Hopefully when lockdown does end.
Right, so, well, that's it, everybody. We'll be through all the questions, so thank you for listening. As you probably noticed, we've been wearing masks, but it's part of our job to pass on health messages. So, as this is one of the big ones, keep safe.
Taking mine off now.
We'll take them off now.
Rebellion.
Keep safe.
No, not rebellion. We're being good.
Yeah. Wear your mask when you're out. Not so much to stop you catching something, but to stop you passing on to your fellow man and where other citizens are othering. So take care, look after yourself, and thank you very much for listening. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.